Welcome to the Mile High City, Denver, Colorado, Richard L. Snowden Memorial Stadium, home of the Denver Night Wings, as they play host to the Queen City Corsairs here in Week 1 of Season 23 of the Simulation Football League. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody, alongside Tyler Falk. My name is Eric Vinson. Shout out to all you fine people over in League City enjoying the convention out there. We are here, and we are ready to bring you a tough test between two 4-8 teams from a season to go, Tyler.
Yes, hello, Hiccups. Glad to be here in the booth with you. Glad to welcome in a new season to the SFL, and excited for Denver and Queen City to go head-to-head here today. The story for Queen City is the shrinking of the Corsairs lineup. Their linebacking core took a massive hit. We'll talk more about that as they go on defense for the second drive of the ball game. And for Denver, however, they got thicker, as I would say. They lost some corners, gained some defensive linemen, and they're looking to continue their hot streak over Denver, winning all 4 of the previous matchups.
That is a key statistic here this afternoon in Denver. 4-0 against these Queen City Corsairs, and the Corsairs will get the football here in the Mile High City. And we'll have a return early on to the 20 and out across to about the 23-yard line. That is Adrian Ellis. And we will see Trellis Blanton, number 15, come out and lead the troops for the Corsairs.
And what Blanton is going to try and do here in his second season with the Corsairs is give them a bit of stability. He's been moving around. He's the second team in his career. And what he's going to try and do for the Corsairs is try and bump them over this 4-8 slump they've been in for the last 2 seasons.
One person who has been there for a long time is Jet Zero, his 10th season, all in the green and black. Season 17 All-Star, and he rumbled for 8 yards.
That's something that Queen City has tried to get going even the last 2 seasons. 77 average yards on the ground with 0 last season, 94 the season before, have yet to get back to that 100 marker per game all the way back in season 18. We'll see if this offensive line can create some more holes for him. Good opening run for Zero.
Hand off to the fullback this time. Brubbles ahead for a first down. And that is going to be Zach Crockett. We'll look at the offensive starters here for the Corsairs. Trellis Blanton at quarterback. Jet Zero, the running back. Adrian Ellis, Joseph Bidet, and Bob Wood, the wide receivers. James Matthew Jr. and Abad Ruiz II are the tight ends. As we hit first down, Blanton will throw for the first time. He'll throw far sideline. That is caught by Matthew, and that is going to be a gain of 5.
The lone all-star a season ago from the Queen City Corsairs had a phenomenal season last season, second in terms of total receptions in the league. And he's going to be a massive target for Blanton to throw to again this season.
And over 1,000 yards to boot as well. 2nd and 5 as Bidet shifts out wide. Back to the run game. On the ground is the wide receiver Adrian Ellis, and he gets close to first down yardage. 3rd and very, very short.
Now here's a wrinkle we have seen here for the first time this season is getting the wide receiver involved. We saw it in the SFL championship game with Florida using a little bit of the wide receiver in the backfield, and Queen City trying to implement it here.
And Ellis gets the first down this time as he gets another carry close to midfield for Denver. Nice opening drive here for Queen City.
Only one pass thrown by Blanton, and it's just been an effective game so far called by this Queen City offense.
Tom Welsh, the offensive coordinator here for Queen City. Nothing doing on that one for Zero. As he gets tackled by Luis Quintana, who seems to be a longer mainstay than it really is. Only 3rd season for him.
Yeah, but it seems like he's just been effective from the word go. The defensive rookie of the season in season 21, just showing his attempts here to contain a very dangerous backfield.
As Zero gets another carry, going to be 3rd and manageable for Queen City. Gerald Cumbus, Hugo Reynosa, Logan Gardner, Brenda Puff, and Joseph Tabolka are all on the front line there for Denver. Quintana, John Martin, Stephon Ford, the linebackers. Luke Schreiner, Parker Thompson, Lucas DeVore, and Jeff Melanichin are the safeties as the third down comes up empty for Queen City, as Blanton was trying to find Ellis through the air this time. It's going to bring up fourth down.
He's been effective in the run game, but not when Lucas DeVore has to say anything about it in the passing game. Great hit on Ellis as the ball got to him, drawing the ball free, and a promising drive gets wiped away by this Denver defense.
And with Queen City in no man's land, they will punt and try and play field position here. Ian DeGon, the punter, fielded at about the 15 and brought up to the 20. Gene Struther's going to come out. Fourth season in the league and all four with Denver. He is becoming a bit of a mainstay here. And you talked about consistency at quarterback. I think Denver might have finally found it.
Yeah, absolutely. Second in the league last season in terms of completion percentage was 63%. You'll look to try and continue that here with targets like Dalton Barker, Logan Keel, and Chris Alter.
Split backs to start things off. Handoff goes to Bailey O'Shaughnessy. 7 seasons all here in Denver and an all-star last season as well.
It's just something with a lot of turnover last season with Jacksonville folding. A lot of the former Kings have found a home here in Denver and looking to make something happen. And we'll talk more about that as the game goes on. Offset eye here on second down.
And handoff this time goes to the backup running back, Dorsey Levens. Seem to recognize that name as he goes for a couple yards. 3rd and 6 coming up here as we creep inside the 6.5 mark.
Christopher Haddock, the only middle linebacker signed in this offseason by the Corsairs. He's going to have to play outside linebacker at some point too, as we see him here lined up next to his friend Luke Swift.
Early 3rd down here for the Night Wings. Struthers to throw, 7-step drop, sidearm throws, and incomplete. Good coverage on the outside there. Looking for Jeremy Mosley, and it's going to be a 3-and-out here for Denver.
Now, something that Queen City has already shown up and done is they only have 2 corners on their roster. Same thing with Denver, but the big thing is if you're unable to contain the 2 top targets in Denver, that being Mosley and Keel, you're going to have a rough time. Good opening stand here for Queen City.
And a punt fielded at about the 45-yard line after the fair catch. Good starting field position for Queen City as they come back out. If you're new to the Simulation Football League, welcome. The SFL is football for everyone. Get off the sideline and start your player today by joining our Discord server at simfl.net. Click the Join the Community button and begin your career, or just to meet the stars of the SFL on and off the field. It is never too late to get involved. 1st and 10 from the 45, just 0, nowhere to go as he gets stoned at the line of scrimmage by Quintana.
They tried to run a little bit of a trap play there, and it just kind of blew up in the backfield. Brad Badger, the guard, was trying to come over, but got tied up with the center, which led to that broken play.
Denver with a lot of bodies in the box, anticipating a run with this split back formation. Instead, they'll get a throw. One-handed catch there by Ellis, and that's going to be a 1st down for Queen City. That's the Nice Hands catch brought to you by Retroid. Put a Retroid handheld in your hands and play the only video game with your player in it, SFL 4K23.
Ellis with a nice little stab there with the arm, but it has to be said, I don't doubt or don't condemn Denver for stacking the box. That's only the 3rd throw of the football game for this Queen City offense. And so you're right to be expecting run with 0 in the backfield, and now they back off. Now maybe caught on their heels here with a few more DBs.
Bland to throw again. Finds Matthew Jr. near the stick. Gain of 7. And a good offensive game plan so far, I think, for the Corsairs. A lot of run and a little bit of the short passing attack for them.
They're trying to keep it simple, keep Blanton composed and not throwing too many awkward passes. And he's been able to find a hole in the zones and read the defense well. He's really done a really good job over the offseason studying some tape.
Ellis with another carry coming out of the backfield. Had the one-handed grab just a couple plays ago, and he'll get closer to the line to gain. 3rd and 2. Queen City in and out of the huddle here quickly. Heavy set. Blanton's going to throw. Short. Falling backwards. Can't make the catch is Ruiz. And it's going to bring up another 4th down here. Kind of a no man's land once again for Queen City.
It looks like he was just stumbling over his own feet, trying to locate the football, but just couldn't. And this is unfortunate as they bring out the punting unit, Ian Deegan, on to punt this one away.
About the 4-minute mark, and this one is not a long punt at all. Beneficial bounce for Queen City as it goes out at about the 13-yard line. So still pin him back inside the 20, but that wasn't a great punt.
You know, I think he was trying to aim for the corner, but maybe got a little bit too conservative, trying to pop the ball up in the air and land it instead of trying to just boot it further out of bounds in that general direction.
So second opportunity here for Denver in the opening frame. 3 and out on their first drive as Struthers comes out throwing. Oh, he'll be stopped. I thought for sure he was going to get it into the end zone. What a play by Lathon Flowers, number 42, the safety.
And Denver backed up in their own area here, trying to find something, trying to get Keel involved. And I mentioned it earlier, and Mosley was the intended target, but you got to cover those top 2 wideouts in Denver, and Queen City up to the task and in prime field position to put this one in the end zone.
Just an absolute gift here as Denver's offense sputtering early on, a 3 and out, and now the pick to set up Queen City at their Denver 3-yard line. Blanton's going to throw, and throw a pick. Back the other way we go, and he's going to take it all the way. Jeff Melanesian has got Ellis to beat. Is Ellis going to catch him? 10, 5, Ellis stopped right at the goal line. 2 picks. He could have easily taken it back 100+ yards to the house, but instead it's going to set Denver up with great field position.
100-yard return from Melanesian, no touchdown. Talk about getting as close as it can get. Ellis with the great hustle on the outside. But how do you do that, Blanton? How do you just try and dump it over the middle? The last play that he tried to do it, he nearly got Ruiz, but Ruiz was not ready for it. Maybe Blanton's just getting a bit too eager to float the ball over the middle.
Man, oh man, what a sequence of plays here. Back-to-back picks, inexplicable picks. And we're on opposite ends of the end zone, essentially. Both on the goal line now. Denver with an opportunity to take the lead, and they will capitalize as O'Shaughnessy props it in from less than a yard out.
Talk about flipping the field, and it's Denver who capitalized. Talk about a swing of emotions as well in the last minute as well. What a great defensive play from Melanesian to set up the easy tap-in score, and Denver get their first points of the new campaign.
Shoot, partner, I'm up here in the broadcast booth, and I'm going through a wave of emotions here. Goodness gracious.
You sure there ain't the air playing tricks on you there, Hiccups?
Who knows, man? Who knows? They do have good whiskey up here in Colorado, too, so.
There you go. Oh, man. The high elevation not affecting Bailey O'Shaughnessy in that Denver final push into the end zone, though, and Denver with a 7-0 lead.
And it's almost as if Denver looked at what Queen City did on that last play, and we're like, no. We're not doing that.
Anything you can do, I can do better. And
there it is.
Tap it in better than Queen City at the moment.
Ellis's return has a flag on the play as he gets out across the 30-yard line. We'll see what the laundry is all about. It's like a little bit of a clipping block in the back called, and that will back Queen City up a little bit, back to the 16-yard line as we get another look.
And it's just an unforced error, just getting a bit too handsy, unfortunately, for the Corsairs. That'll set them back a bit. That's Tim Brown, the wide receiver, who gets the infraction, and now Queen City have to start on their own 16. Let's see if Blanton can try and recompose himself, just try and shake off that interception in the red zone, and really try and figure things out. I mean, for both teams, the red zone was not the best part of the field for them, both languishing in the bottom 5.
Blanton's gonna throw and might have gotten away with a little DPI there. Looked a little early in the coverage on Matthew, but it's gonna be incomplete second down.
And what I want to see from this defense again is, can they force another turnover? Nearly did there on that last play. This Nighthawk defense is flying around, trying to cause Blanton issues, and right now they're in his head.
Ellis goes in motion. He has been used in a variety of ways in this Corsair offense. Split backs, Blanton looking, fires over the middle, incomplete. The hit jarred it loose. Melanishin, who had the long interception return, with a big hit on the back end.
And Blanton does a good job there, escaping the pocket left and trying to hook up with Bob Wood. He made himself available in the right area to try and get it to Wood, but Melanishin again up to the task to deny the pass. Sets up this 3rd and long.
Only 3 down linemen for Denver on this obvious passing situation, and they defend it beautifully as another hit jars the ball loose. Another safety, Lucas DeVore, and that's going to be a 3 and out for Queen City.
It's a 1-2 punch from these safeties, from DeVore and from Melanishin, causing Blanton fits here on his last 4 passing attempts. Interception, incomplete.
And Deegan going to try and get a better punt than he did the previous one. Much better here. Fielded just past the 40-yard line. Good stiff arm there and a good return into Queen City territory for Dalton Barker. And that's going to set up shop at the 44-yard line. We've still got 3 minutes to go here in the opening frame.
Lots of back and forth in terms of, I think this is our 7th drive, partner, and it's gone pretty quick there, so it seems, but the time still says we got a few minutes here. We'll see if Denver can try and maybe put together a longer drive that takes a bit more time off this clock and really tires out this Queen City defense.
We'll see what they have in store here with split backs. Struthers from his backside. He goes down. Sack on the play by Stinson. Chad Stinson, 6'2", 240, all 3 seasons here in Queen City.
When we talk about how speed kills, we're usually talking about wide receivers, but Chad Stinson uses his speed to get around the tackle and get inside to get to the quarterback. Excellent hustle from Stinson.
So now Denver goes offset eye, still going to throw. Struthers checks it down short. Heel with the football, and Gingle's got some room to the outside. Inside the 20, spins around through a possible face mask, and lands down at about the 15. Big play for Denver.
Just excellent blocking after the ball had been thrown, allowing Keel to get further downfield. Let's take a look at it again. Keel gets it, and after the breaking off the tackle from Stinson, gets a couple of blocks. A beautiful block from R.E. Mills helps set Keel up to get to the outside. An excellent hustle there to finally close on the play from the quarterback, Ted Haynes, but it was all blocking after the catch that led to that big play.
Denver looking to take a 2-score lead here early, as O'Shaughnessy will get the carry, and he'll get maybe a couple yards. We'll get a look at the Denver offense here quickly. Gene Struthers at quarterback, Bailey O'Shaughnessy, the running back there, R.E. Mills at fullback, Dalton Barker, Logan Keel, Jeremy Mosley, and Dylan Lewis, the receivers. Chris Alter, Marquise Sengo, the tight ends. Marcella Martin at guard and Carly Ford at center, both former Jacksonville Kings, coming up to front that offensive line. As we get another carry here for Denver, as Levens will carry it close to the 1st down.
Now, as we've gotten into this new era of SFL, we've seen a lot of runs away from the strong side. That's where they have more offensive players on the side of the center than the other side, and it's working to a little bit of decent effect here for Denver. We'll see if they do the same thing here on 3rd down. They do it again.
Queen City could not make the stop. That was a big 3rd down for them, and instead Denver is going to make it a 1st and goal from about the 1.5.
Another weak ISO here from Bailey O'Shaughnessy, and it's working well, working in tandem with R.E. Mills to get through that line, and we'll see what they do here. Queen City stacking the weak side of the box.
A lot of bodies there on defense for the Corsairs. Struthers gonna throw, looking, sets his feet. And he'll make it out to the 15-yard line. Mistakes galore for these quarterbacks early on here in the Mile High.
And it's been inside the 5-yard line. It's just inexplicable. That's into triple coverage. That's unexcusable, in my opinion. I know you're under pressure going to the outside, but that's just a bit too much. Trying to be overly optimistic. I would just have taken the sack there. However, Queen City gets the ball and maybe some momentum.
And in this era of the mobile quarterback here in the SFL as well, might you have just taken off there and see what you can get. Instead, Queen City gets another crack at the football, avoids disaster, still only being down one score despite playing haphazardly here in the first quarter as Jet Zero goes back to work for a gain of 5.
And that's just how that first drive for the Corsairs started. A nice opening run from zero where they were able to set the rhythm a little bit. An incomplete pass ended that drive. However, the running game so far has been very strong for the Corsairs. Look for them to do it again here on second down.
Back again to Ellis, who has been playing the primary backup running back role. He'll get close to the line to gain, 3rd and short as we draw to the end of the first quarter. And the clock hits 000. We have reached the end of the first quarter of action. Denver 7, Queen City nothing. You're watching the Simulation Football League, and we will be right back. Back here inside the mile-high city of Denver, Colorado. Eric Vincent alongside Tyler Falk. 7-0 the score, despite a little bit of basketball on grass so far. Not a whole lot of points to show for it, as Queen City trying to get a first down here with a 3rd and short. Handoff up the middle goes Zero, pushing the pile, and he will move the stick, and that'll be a first down for the Corsairs.
Basketball, I'd almost say baseball in terms of how they're scoring runs over there in the MLB. However, again, we talked about at the beginning of the game how Jet Zero will be a feature point in this offense, especially on the ground, and he's done some really nice job getting the tough yards needed. He's always been that bowling ball of a tailback.
And we'll see the backup tailback Randy Jordan rumble ahead. And it looks like, John Martin is down on the field for the Denver Night Wings. That is going to be a big loss if he cannot get back to action.
And what Denver wanted from bringing over Martin is him partnering alongside Forge, 2 7-season players, and right now that tandem is half of that tandem is currently sitting in the blue tent.
We'll see how quickly he could get back to action here as he got up under his own power. I formation on a 2nd and 5 for Queen City. Handoff. And buried in the backfield is Ellis. He had absolutely no shot at getting out of there. Gerald Cumbus was in his grill right away.
Ellis is really starting to slow down already in the second quarter, and you don't want to see that from bringing in a wide receiver. He's running the football a lot. You can tell it's taking a toll on him.
4 wide, Blanton under center. With time, he will throw into coverage and incomplete. Looked like that could have been another interception, but instead it brings up 4th down.
Clarence LeBlanc, they're in on coverage. He knocked the football away and said, I'm done with that play, and I'm just going to go walk over to the sideline because out comes the special teams unit to receive the punt.
Plenty of action here for Ian Deegan as he gets another one away. Good punt as it's fair caught at about the 35-yard line of Denver. I mean, Tyler, what can you say, my friend? I feel like these quarterbacks, it is week 1, trying to shake off a little bit of the rust and trying to get some better decision-making out there, I think.
Well, just a little bit. What I think they're really trying to do is try and figure each other out and get these defenses, which have gone through a massive reshuffle on both sides of the field, some action to try and figure out what's going to work, what's not going to work. And right now, these defenses seem to have the better of their offenses.
Both of these secondaries playing very physical, and that's not even counting the interceptions, as we've seen several hits just like that to jar the football loose and force incompletion. So a 2nd down now here for Denver. Split backs, 4-down linemen for the Corsairs on defense. Handoff goes to O'Shaughnessy, finds no room whatsoever. Good defensive play by number 41, Luke Swift. his second season here with the team.
Now the only outside linebacker here for the Corsairs, and he gets involved early, taking down Bailey O'Shaughnessy, who can show off some speed. But this time, Swift was swifty to get in the backfield.
3rd and long, quick fires, incomplete. There's a sea of humanity over on the right-hand side of that formation, and no one could come up with a football. Seems like no one wants to score any points really right now, Tyler, even after the long interception returns that we've seen.
Well, that last play looked like 3 different players went for the football, and 2 of them happened to be wearing white and black.
So Toby going with the punt. This one's a boomer. Fair caught at about the 25-yard line by Ellis. And back and forth we go. A little bit of a defensive slugfest up here in Colorado.
Yeah, absolutely. Back to your point about not scoring a lot. And it's just these 2 offenses have struggled over the seasons to try and find a way to score some points. It's been a point of contention, especially for Queen City. Have only scored 16 points on average last season. It's just been plays like that.
What an interception as Melanishian gets his 2nd of the afternoon. No, sorry, that was Luke Schreiner with the pick and picked it right off of his shoelaces.
Just an unfortunate pass. Hits the shoulder pad of James Matthew Jr. It will come all the way back to the spot of the foul because Quintana puts a hit on the receiver, Joseph Boudet, which will negate the return. But, I mean, it's just unfortunate. There's been a lot of errors and just some miscommunication, some mistiming that's led to us having a turnover fest and a low-scoring affair.
I mean, both of these teams, going back to your point, Tyler, bottom of the league as far as points scored. Impressive numbers as far as rush yards per game for these Nightwings. But otherwise, that's the only real bright spot that you can see as far as stat lines go for this team as far as offense goes.
And if you're looking for anything in particular, I mean, right now both teams have 2 turnovers apiece. Queen City last season, the turnover differential for them was -10, while Denver had a positive 1-point turnover differential. A shovel pass through the offensive line. You rarely see one of those, but great execution there for Denver.
And Logan Keel coming up with that one as well. Obviously, the offensive play caller is trying to find some wrinkles, trying to throw some things out there that you wouldn't necessarily see, try and get some sort of momentum going here, as neither of these offenses have really been playing up to par. Struthers to throw, finds Keel, and that's going to be a first down. Seems like the first down in forever.
And I think for Denver, I mean, marching down the field is good for them. It's just when they get closer to the red zone is when we'll start talking about where they need to be better at. But for right now, they're on the march again, and hopefully this continues for them.
Mismatch in coverage out there with Flowers out there one-on-one, trying to handle Keel. And O'Shaughnessy going to go back to the ground, and he'll get a hard-fought 3 yards there after the hit by G.B. Wallace.
And you can see the Queen City defense, they're back up a little bit as the ball was snapped, expecting a pass, maybe thinking because they're a little bit on their heels after the effective pass to Keel on the last play. Now they have to try and figure out what they're going to do here in this 2 tight end, 2 wide receiver set.
Struthers throws, picked off again. Going back the other way is Ted Haynes to the 35-yard line. And neither of these offenses continue to put up any sort of momentum at all. Going back the other way is Denver.
You get a pick. You get a pick. Everyone gets a pick. That just seems like these quarterbacks are just in the giving spirit. Is it Christmas in July? Because that's what it feels like right now with these turnovers.
That is what it feels like. There's no snow on the ground, but darn it, it just feels that way. From the 35 now for Queen City. 6.5 to go in the first half. Quick pass. Ellis catches it, and it's going to be short of the line to gain, I believe. No, they're going to give him a first down.
Good little play. Just a little bit late to react by John Martin, who is back in the game. That is a good sign for Denver.
Very good sign there, as he signed in the offseason with this Nightwings defense. 6 seasons in Jacksonville. As Blanton going to swing it out to Zero. Good open field tackle there by Melanishin, and that limits the damage to maybe a couple yards.
How rare do we see that, partner? Zero getting denied a stiff arm and being slammed to the ground by a strong safety. Excellent open field tackle for Melanishin.
Blanton, another quick throw. Matthew Jr. with the catch as he gets first down yardage out to about the 40-yard line. It looks like they're going with the quick fire here, partner.
Yeah, and it didn't work for him earlier in the game, but right now I think Blanton has composed himself after those first couple interceptions over the middle, and now he's able to maybe set and throw and find a rhythm, even in a very under 1 second release of the football.
Quintana with the stop, brings up first down here. Just outside the 40-yard line of Denver, and Zero gets thrown to the ground by Stephon Forge. What a play there.
And we talked about this outside linebacker tandem. Martin now able to play his side of the field, and Forge able to forge some steel with the remains of Zero in the turf.
One of the best linebacking cores, arguably, in the league, as Blanton will throw near 2 receivers. And it is incomplete. Looks like Boudet and Matthew Jr. both in the vicinity there.
They were almost running the same exact route on the outside, both looking to maybe run 2 little go routes, or maybe that Matthew Jr., the tight end, was running a wheel route or something, but just a little bit of confusion probably from those 2 gentlemen out there.
5 wide trips towards the bottom of the formation. Third down, Blanton throws quickly to Ellis, makes the catch, and another first down for Queen City.
That's a rare pass from Blanton where he just puts just enough touch on the football to get it over Melanishin. How many times already today have we seen guys like Melanishin go up for that pass and come down with it? Just enough heat on the ball from Blanton that time to fit it in. Great pass.
11 yards on the ground, 38 through the air for Ellis as Zero goes back to work on the ground, and he will get 3 yards, brings up 2nd and 7.
He barrels over Quintana there, who's usually more stalwart over the middle, but great first down run. Gets him a couple yards and gets him further inside this, or just on the outskirts now of the red zone.
Flip back for the Corsairs again. Handoff goes to Ellis, trying to find some room, and man, oh man, Melanishin is coming out to play here today.
It's been tough sledding for Ellis on the ground. Maybe an average of just over 2.5 yards a carry is my best guesstimate here at the moment for Ellis, but we'll see if Zero can make anything happen as he sits on the sideline for now.
Matthew Jr. and Queen City finally gets on the board. Great pass there by the young quarterback.
They get their lone all-star involved on a nice little go route here for the tight end. He cuts inside as he's being hit to keep control of the football, and Queen City finally answer back here late in the second quarter.
Back and forth between both of these defenses. Finally, we get some offensive showing here from the Corsairs with a long drive, and they even the score up at 7 with 3:41 here to play.
How does Denver respond? It's been some time since the Nightwings scored on that last little tap-in 0-yard touchdown from O'Shaughnessy. But now he's going to have to do it again, possibly. Maybe a good return will help set him up with it.
Oh, nice little shifty return there. Breaks it to the outside, and kicker finally brings him down. Joe Garfield does at about the 39-yard line. Good starting field position here for the Nightwings.
Derek Doris makes a phenomenal return here, just following the blockers off to the left. Gets a good block from 92 to spring him forward, but kickers matter too, and they don't just kick the football. And when called upon, you look at none other than Pat McAfee and Joe Garfield getting involved and taking down the return man.
So now an offset eye for Denver. Struthers is going to throw. Pocket collapsing around and fires. Catch is made. And a first down out across midfield into Queen City territory. Dylan Lewis, the recipient.
Sometimes it takes only 1 or 2 plays to help get your momentum going. A good gain of a 15 plus here for Lewis and Denver after a brilliant return to help set them up, and now they're right on the other side of midfield.
Clock continuing to roll. Tie ball game at 7. Split backs for Denver. Hand off O'Shaughnessy. Right up the middle he goes. He's on his feet and he's loose. Out across the 30-yard line and a first down for Denver. We have seen little glimpses of that here today as we see Tony Bryant is down on the turf for Queen City as the medical staff tends to him.
That's unfortunate for the defensive line of this core. They only have a very few select chosen few on that line, and so now his replacement, Felipe Claybrooks, will have to come in, but another phenomenal run by O'Shaughnessy. When he gets going, he is tough to stop.
As you see his numbers on the afternoon there. Going back to the split backs look. Back to O'Shaughnessy. Wrapped up, but still churning his feet, and he'll get 6 yards for the trouble. 2nd down and 4.
And he's not done yet. It's going to take a village to stop him before he can try and tack on his 2nd touchdown of the ball game. And look at that, Queen City realizing his threat and pile in 9 defenders.
Heavy front here for Denver as they give the ball to Levins, who goes nowhere. Swift in there on the stop, and he's played well early on.
And O'Shaughnessy, his presence off the field is duly noted, but because Swift is able to catch up to the backup tailback in a hurry and stop him for a minimal gain. O'Shaughnessy back in now.
Blitz coming. Strother's going to throw a low one, and it's caught for first down yardage by Jeremy Mosley, and that will bring us to the 2-minute warning here in Denver. 7-all here at Richard L. Snowden Memorial Stadium. You're watching the Simulation Football League. Eric Vincent alongside Tyler Falk here in Denver. The Night Wings driving in a tie 7-7 game. Marred by interceptions from both of these quarterbacks as Struthers will throw and has all day. He's going to fire. End zone. Caught. Touchdown. Mosley again.
2 brilliant catches from Mosley on back-to-back plays. He picks it off the turf on that first catch, and he stretches out his arms with the football over the line and gets the touchdown. A brilliant pass from Struthers to get it to him where the defender couldn't, and Denver retake the lead. An excellent response to Queen City's opening score.
Man, we just needed almost 2 quarters of action to finally see some offensive fireworks. Queen City with a long drive. Now Denver answers with a long drive of their own after a good return. And here we are sitting 14-7. Queen City with an opportunity to run their 2-minute offense with all 3 timeouts. Coming out of the end zone, out across the 20 to the 25, out to the 26-yard line is Bob Wood. And with 1:50 to go, like I said, all 3 timeouts, Tyler, you could run your 2-minute offense for sure.
Absolutely. If I'm Queen City, I'm not too worried about anything too much. Let's get Jet Zero going here a little bit. Let's establish ourselves here on this drive. Let's take up some time and run our style of play, because right now this rushing game has really been a thorn in the side for Denver.
Split backs, receiver on either side of the formation now. Delayed handoff, goes to zero, trying to bounce it to the outside, but a good tackle there by Quintana. Came all the way over from the other side of the formation to make the play.
Again, not the worst start to this drive. You just want to make sure you're comfortable with the football, not trying to force anything. Same exact formation, though, here for the Corsairs. Let's see if they try something different.
It's going single back this time. Blanton's going to throw. Will sidearm to the outside. Catch is made, and a first down as well by Boudet.
And good heads-up awareness from Boudet to try and get to the outside. He gets shoved out of bounds there by Luke Schreiner after a nice catch and run. It found the open area underneath the defensive coverage and picks up enough yards to move the sticks and stop the clock for good measure.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Just stopping the clock there, saving those timeouts. Minute 22 is what the Corsairs have to work with here as they go 4 wide. No back behind Blanton, who's under center. He will throw. Lofts one. Tipped and incomplete. Not sure where exactly he was going with the football, but again, one of those extra safeties out there, LeBlanc, who's made a couple plays already.
If I'm Denver, I'm calling that defensive formation again and again. Second time I've seen it run it. The first time ended up in an interception. Second time nearly ends up in an interception. That multiple quarterback look is just spreading more defenders out there than Blanton can account for.
Same formation. Blanton's going to throw a quick one, and Ellis can't handle it. It's going to bring up 3rd and long now as they barely let a second go off the clock.
Ellis, he's known for more sure-hand catches like that. He'll get another chance here to go after one, and it looks like Queen City trying to run the same exact formation, and Denver looking to go with that 3-down lineman formation again, trying to cause Blanton fits. Big 3rd down here for the Corsairs.
Matthew Jr. shifts over to the other side of the line. Blanton fires quickly again, and the catch is made this time by Bob Wood. That's a 1st down, and Queen City will burn their first time out.
Now the difference there for Denver is they sent the extra linebacker, Luis Quintana, on the blitz, which freed open that area. Denver were playing shorter because they knew that Queen City had to get the ball out in time, but Blanton just floats it over the top of them to move the change. Great heads-up awareness from both quarterback and receiver.
So after the timeout, 1st down from inside the 45. Blanton throws, picked off, go back the other way. Parker Thomas has a head of steam, and he'll eventually get tackled at the Queen City 42-yard line. Again, another mistake by one of these quarterbacks.
Oh, Trellis Blanton did such a good job reading the defense in the last play and then gets caught trying to get to the outside. Parker Thomas, the journeyman defensive back, in on the spot, gets his first interception in a blue and white uniform for Denver, and the Nightwings take over with all 3 of their timeouts remaining.
And this is nightmare fuel here for Queen City. They got to get a stop here to prevent this game from getting out of hand early. Struthers airmails that one on 1st down. 60 seconds to go before the half.
It's a bit too high. Again, he's trying to fit it in where only his guy can get it. However, just a bit too much heat on that football. Might have seen a few flames coming off that spiral of the football. We'll see if he can compose himself here on 2nd down. He's just above 50%, just below 50% completion percentage.
And 3 picks, not even 100 yards through the air. Just a miserable afternoon so far for Struthers. Trying to improve upon it here as he fires, and it's complete inside the red zone to Logan Keel. Denver will call their first timeout.
You want improvement, partner? That's improvement. That's a beautiful pass to Keel just when it needed to be, and they're in the red zone now. Can they finally maybe establish some consistency in the red zone, because last season they only converted 77% of the time.
O'Shaughnessy with the swing pass. Good spin move there, and he'll get 1st down yardage to make it a 1st and goal. What a run and catch by Bailey O'Shaughnessy.
Get Bailey O going. This is exactly what Denver needs, and a good showing from Bailey O'Shaughnessy here on the first game of the season. Just completely makes invisible, makes Casper Haddock disappear out of thin air with that brilliant spin move, and he gets out of bounds after picking up the 1st down.
What a play, and freezes the clock at 48 seconds. Blitz coming. Struthers throws. Keel comes back to it, goes absolutely nowhere, maybe gets a couple yards, and Denver will call timeout number 2.
And that's a better decision from Gene Struthers, who found out that it was man-to-man coverage, led his man a little bit further out to the outside to pick up just a couple yards. Didn't try and force anything.
And Queen City giving some cushion here to these wideouts here. From about the 5, Struthers throws, end zone, incomplete. Again, flirting with disasters. Flowers was in coverage. He's already had a pick today.
And it's just these short situations where Queen City knows you're going to try and look for the end zone. They know they got to play about maybe a yard or two deep in the end zone because that's what Struthers is trying to do. He's trying to put it in the end zone, not try and get his guys to catch and run. I think a little swing pass might help Struthers' confidence here, and it might give him a touchdown if they can get it to Bailey O'Shaughnessy here.
38 seconds, 3rd and goal. One timeout. Struthers quickly fires, and it is caught. Are you kidding me? What a catch in traffic by Dalton Barker, and the Nightwings extend their lead.
Well, shows how much I know. Great catch from Barker. It was man-to-man coverage from the Corsairs. They really couldn't do anything about it, and Barker picks up his first career SFL touchdown, and it puts Denver out by 2 scores.
So Denver capitalizing on the turnover, taking a 2-score lead as Bradshaw is going to add the extra point to make it 21-7 with 35 seconds to go. And Queen City, they've got 2 timeouts in 35 seconds. Denver's going to get the second half kickoff. What's really the mindset here before they go into the half, Tyler?
Well, I think right now is you gotta worry about those turnovers. They become a hazard, and so I would expect the Corsairs just to run out the remainder of this clock and try and convince themselves in the locker room that we deserve to still be in this game. This is only week 1. There's plenty of stuff to learn, plenty of ways to improve, but if they want to come back in this game, they're only down by 2 scores. They have to believe in themselves that they can do it, because right now, they're really on their heels.
0 with the carry, almost got free there, but again, Quintana playing that middle of the field area and doing it expertly as the clock will roll.
No time to be a hero here and give Denver any more opportunities to score on you. I'd just run the football again.
No unnecessary risks. 0 does get the carry and barely gets back to the line of scrimmage. And I think Queen City has just about had enough as the clock hits triple zeros. And the score here in Richard L. Snowden Memorial Stadium, 21 for Denver, 7 for Queen City. As we hit the first half stats and highlights, it's been a roller coaster ride, partner, early on, but looks like Denver finally starting to get a little bit of offensive momentum.
Yeah, Struthers is really starting to find his groove and finally connect with his guys. He gets Barker for a touchdown. They get Bailey O'Shaughnessy involved, but it's just been these 2 defenses, both quarterbacks hovering around the 50% mark in terms of completions. But for Queen City, let's just take stock here. The running game's been effective. You've been able to move the football down effectively with 0. It's just been able to try and settle your 4th season quarterback, 2nd season with your team, settle him down and get him involved, because right now he looks like the elevation here in Mile High has really get to him. You compose Trellis Benton, you have a chance to get back in this game.
We will see what Queen City decides to do as Denver is going to get the football to start the second half, up by 2 scores. And this is going to be a huge defensive possession here for the Corsairs. Try and get the football back and try and give a little bit of momentum back to their offense. Just inside the end zone, Barker, who had the touchdown grab late in the first half, he'll bring it out to the 32-yard line, and that is where the Denver Nightwings offense will take over. Struthers finally starting to come into his own a little bit towards the end of the second quarter.
Now we'll see if he rides that high after scoring in the last 2-minute drill drive and continues his excellent form.
I would lean on O'Shaughnessy, who had a great First half of action, 9 carries, 42 yards, and a touchdown, and he's adding to it here as he gets almost 10 on the first play from scrimmage here in the second half.
How's that to start a drive? 9.5 yards from O'Shaughnessy as he's able to just find a hole. This offensive line starting to feel right at home in friendly confines and create some nice holes for him to run through.
Back to the ground, Levens trying to find some room. Plenty of Corsairs around him, and he will lose maybe half a yard, so that's up 3rd and short.
And while O'Shaughnessy has definitely been the Dr. Jekyll, the Dr. Hine is definitely the backup tailback for Denver, is not able to get up to speed as quickly as O'Shaughnessy. Try and lean on him here once again.
And there he goes. He will get first down yardage, and look at the feet churning as he takes Casper Haddock with him for another 5 yards.
He is just able to run against contact. He fights it off, goes for more than 5 yards, fight off Haddock again, and it's just his will and desire that takes him forward.
Doing a great job there to cut the football back inside off of the block, knowing he's going to meet contact. Takes it and runs with it, literally. Back to the ground game again. Levens with a better carry this time. He'll get 5 as they get across midfield into Queen City territory.
Really, the playbook is open here for Denver with an excellent run game forming here to begin this second half. Really don't have to try and force anything. I think they're just going to continue to pound this rock against a very depleted linebacking core.
And sure enough, they do as O'Shaughnessy bounces it off tackle. He will get the first down as Alex Marshall wraps him up after he crosses the line to gain. But we haven't seen a pass yet from Struthers, and I don't see why we would.
No, absolutely not, especially when you're getting some good blocking from the outside from wide receivers as we're seeing here. But let's give some credit again to the offensive line again, who have done a phenomenal job. O'Shaughnessy was under 50 yards to begin the half. He's got 20 plus already on this drive.
Split backs once again, back to Levens, and a good open field tackle there as Swift knocks him down at the line of scrimmage.
We're going to see plenty of Swift this season making plays because he's going to be on the field every single play because they're going to need him to be for this Queen City defense. Whether or not they're going to have to go to 4 DBs, he'll be out there because they need him to be out there. They don't have really any help in that cornerbacking core besides reside in Haynes.
And that is true. In fact, we'll get a look at that defense here. Chad Stinson, Emmanuel Petrilla along the front 4. Casper Haddock, Luke Swift, the linebackers. Justin Reside and Ted Haynes, as you mentioned. Alex Marshall and G.B. Wallace, the safeties. Very small star crew here for the Corsair defense. 3rd and 5 as Struthers surveys, looking, fires, catches made inside the 10-yard line, nearing the 5 as Dylan Lewis goes up to get that one.
Double coverage, but Lewis stayed in front of the 2 safeties. The safeties in the corner who was covering Haynes was in coverage on him, but he just gets his big body up there, all 6'3", 205 of him, in front of Haynes and picks up the nice catch to put him in the red zone.
Denver looking to run away with this early here in the 3rd. O'Shaughnessy with the pitch, spin move, and nothing doing on that one. Wallace was ready for it and stopped him in his tracks.
Will Wallace is going to have to come down from his safety spot more often than not throughout this season to contain some very dangerous running backs for the Corsairs. Now again, Queen City overloading the weak side where Denver has liked to go to.
Levens with the carry, he's pushing the pile, and he gets into the end zone. That'll be another touchdown for the Denver Nightwings.
And instead, it comes back to bite Queen City. They overload the weak side, and Denver go the strong side. Ari Mills just was able to eventually run through the hole that was created by the offensive lineman originally, and Levens just follows him through, fights through contact, picks up another Denver score, and the Nightwings are having fun here in Mile High.
That is exactly what Queen City didn't want to happen coming out of the halftime locker room as Denver marches down the field, chews up about half the quarter's clock. And here we are with a 3-score advantage for the Nightwings. Queen City trying to answer.
Talk about that for an opening drive. Nearly 4 minutes, just suffocating this defense for the Corsairs. Now this offense is going to have to be a lightning spark to really energize or re-energize their defense, because right now they cannot afford to keep falling behind.
Ellis coming out of his own end zone, past the 20 to the 25, loses the football, and Denver's got it. Just rub salt into the wound, why don't you?
Oh, no. Ellis, who has done everything, become a wideout, become a tailback, be the return man, and gets clobbered in the back of his own side of the field. Nearly a clothesline. Just a brutal hit which jars the ball free. Denver pounce, and they might be able to really put Queen City in a gigantic hole.
O'Shaughnessy with the delay. He rumbles ahead for about 6 yards as he's got a fresh head of steam coming out of the locker room so far from the first half.
It's become almost a rhythmic routine. Eat, sleep, hand the ball off, repeat for both Levens and for O'Shaughnessy.
As Levens now gets the carry, lowers his shoulder. Good play there as he got a touchdown on the last drive. Brings up 3rd and short, and I bet we'll see O'Shaughnessy back in the lineup again.
He dots that offset eye, and this defense is tired after the long drive over the near 4-minute drive on the last drive. Now they're back on the field. Can they get a stop? They need to get off this field.
O'Shaughnessy dispatches the first defender, and he will get the first down. What a tough run by Bailey-O.
Second season Casper Haddock just isn't strong enough to take down the 2-time All-Star in Bailey O'Shaughnessy, and just a little extra toughness, and this offense looks fresh.
Levens checks in for the split back formation. First down for Denver. Inside the red zone, Levens gets suplexed as he tried to hurdle a defender. And that brings up 2nd and 8. Clock continuing to roll here. And you hate to say that in the third quarter, partner, but it's starting to become a factor pretty early.
I mean, they've already had the ball for nearly 6 minutes in total in this third quarter. It's just been a complete controlling from the second half opening kickoff.
We legitimately have not seen the Queen City offense in this third quarter. And we are under 4 to go here in the third. Just absolutely wild. 3rd and 6. Struthers moves up in the pocket. He'll throw. End zone incomplete. Haddock out there in coverage on Mills. And that's going to bring up 4th down. Queen City can breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief.
I mean, they nearly had Ari Mills, the fullback, in the back of the end zone. But that time, just as the ball got there, Haddock was there. He's been enough. He said enough is enough with them trying to score on us. We're going to make them settle for a field goal.
Bradshaw will boot his first field goal in a Denver Nightwing uniform through and make it a 31-7 advantage here late in the third. Break into the world of sports memorabilia collecting with Breaks GPT. Featuring signed football jerseys, helmets, photos, and more, Breaks GPT offers you the shot at winning autographed and authenticated sports memorabilia at a fraction of the price. Join the community of collectors on our Breaks GPT Facebook page and lock in your shot at hitting a humongous headliner on our site, breaksgpt.com. Ellis, following the fumble return, holds secure on this one as he brings it out to the 28-yard line, and we will finally see the Queen City offense with under 4 to go here in the third.
I'll tell you what some headlines have been. It's, of course, been the running game by O'Shaughnessy. It's been the 2 defensive DBs for both clubs. grabbing a whole bunch of turnovers, and it's been the inability for this Queen City offense to get going after an effective run game.
Zero with the carry, gets a gain of 4. And I agree with you. I feel like the run game has been productive for Queen City despite the low numbers. 4-0. It just doesn't seem like they could just get any momentum going at all as they bring up 2nd and 6. Handoff to the fullback this time. Going to bring up a 3rd and short, so that'll open up the playbook a bit more for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just the passing game just hasn't been an effective complement as of yet. And so I would lean on this run game. I would give it to 0 one more time. And they're set up to do that there on the eye. But Denver's countering with 8 in the box.
It's actually Ellis in the backfield. He'll get the first down as he spun around past the 40-yard line.
When you think I formation, you usually think power back. Instead, it's the speed of Ellis to just scoot for the first down.
Been tough sledding all afternoon here for the Corsair offense. Running game has been their most successful option, and even that, sometimes you get that as Quintana gets into the backfield, and 0 is showing some frustration as he's picked up off the turf.
Well, I think he's frustrated on his O-line there, who got beat as they all got pushed back on the line as the defense crashed in, delaying his chance to try and bounce it out to the outside. Great play from the front 4 of Denver.
A little bit of motion in this I formation. Blanton's going to throw for the first time this drive. Shuffles backward, throws off his back foot, into coverage, and it's somehow caught by Adrian Ellis. How in the world did he come up with that one?
I'm thinking, oh, no, not again. Not another interception, except it's a brilliant throw. It's a perfect throw in stride for Adrian Ellis. Phenomenal. I mean, if you can make throws like that on the regular, you can just throw anywhere on the field with that.
I mean, that was Brett Favre-esque, just a throw that you would never anticipate him throwing, and there it is, and there you go. Next play, throws it into triple coverage. Thankfully, it's incomplete for him.
It's been the two sides of the coin for Blint. He's got great throws in him, and then it's nearly intercepted or intercepted passes. He's got to try and tone down that it almost like he gets overconfident with completing a spectacular pass that he thinks he can go and crush the world, but he just has to tone it down and try and make a routine pass every once in a while.
We'll see if he can reel it back in with the blitz coming over the middle and a little too strong, as that one probably should have been picked off by Devore, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down now for Queen City.
Back-to-back deflections, and that one was almost telegraphed to Devore, deep over the middle. Blanton's just trying to force a pass that just isn't there.
These Corsairs are desperate for points. Inside the 30, 3rd and 10. Blanton with time, sets his feet, fires, end zone, incomplete, but there is a penalty marker on the field looking for Ruiz, and he is going to draw a DPI call, and that's going to set them up with great field position with a 1st and goal.
And that's pretty close. But I have to agree with the call. Looking for Ruiz, nothing he can do about it. It almost looked like Melanishin should get called as he runs in front of him, though he does get his hands up as he's going for the football. So, I mean, Queen City get bailed out there. I think it's a good call, though.
Yep, I would agree with you, partner. Definitely a good call. A little bit borderline watching in real time, but coming back on the replay, definitely looks like that was the appropriate call. 1st and goal now from the 2 after the penalty. Blanton's going to throw, oh boy, to the end zone, incomplete, as he was looking for the corner of the end zone. I probably shouldn't say oh boy, I'm sorry, but man, oh man, just with the way his game has gone today.
I mean, we've already seen him throw an interception. We've seen both quarterbacks throw an interception in this territory, and so we're on the edge of our seat every time they go back to pass here inside the 5.
Will we see it again? Denver stacking the box. 2nd and goal from the 2. Handoff goes to Ellis. Ellis trying to find anything but gets nothing as he barely makes it back to the line of scrimmage. Reynosa in there with the stop. 3rd down.
Ellis again slowing down. I would throw 0 in the backfield on this I formation. Instead, Oh, it looks like we do have zero this time. 2 tight ends right, look for them to run that way. They'll have extra help out there.
Crowd on their feet here in Denver. Under a minute to go in the third. Pitch goes to Ellison. He gets gobbled up in the backfield. Great play there by the Denver defense, and the Queen City coaching staff is left shaking their head on the sideline.
They run a pitch, trying to get help on the outside, but Denver jump the gun. They get there as the ball was snapped. They break free through the offensive line. It just was broken up even before Zero got the football.
Joe Garfield, a season 21 All-Star, boots through his first field goal of the campaign and makes it a 3-score advantage once again for the Night Wings. Man, oh man, just absolutely unbelievable turn of events here. Denver finally finding their footing and taking advantage of some of these turnovers that Queen City has offered them, and at the same time, putting a stop on the turnovers themselves, as they have a 21-point lead, looking to add more, as Barker looked like he was going to break that one to the outside, brings it out to the 36, another good return.
He's been close on back-to-back returns, and back to your point about Queen City, the one thing I will say, and a very good positive that the Queen City faithful should take to heart, is they didn't turn the ball over. They got points on that drive, and so I'm a happy camper. They got double digits up on the scoreboard, down by 21, 3-score ball game. We've seen teams score 21-plus points in a quarter. Queen City, they're going to have to really call on their stars to do that.
And O'Shaughnessy has been otherworldly here in the second half, just unbelievable as he's come out. That's, like I said, with a fresh head of steam, and he is showing no signs of slowing down.
He's playing with reckless abandon. There's really nothing that the Corsair defense can do to stop him at the moment.
As we hit triple zeros here on the clock, end of 3. Denver with a commanding 21-point lead over Queen City. We will pause for a moment for league rights. We will be right back.
The Simulation Football League is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
Back live in Richard L. Snowden Memorial Stadium. Eric Vincent alongside my partner Tyler Falk. 21-point advantage for Denver, and Queen City makes a stop finally on Bailey O, who goes nowhere, and is going to bring up a 3rd and short.
Now, we've seen that for the Queen City defense. They realize on 2nd and short that Denver's going to run the football. That's another stop on a 2nd and inches play here today for the Queen City defense.
Swift with 11 tackles. Levens is going to get the first down, and that is going to continue to choose some valuable clock here. And again, you hate to say it with the 4th quarter just starting, but being down 3 scores, defense has got to get the ball back to the offense.
And where's all the turnovers been? We've seen a flurry of them in the first half and nothing here in the second half.
Back to the ground. O'Shaughnessy with a gain of 5. 42 yards in the first half, partner, and he has just come out man on fire here in the second half.
Already doubled that total, more so, 100 yards even for Bailey O'Shaughnessy, and it just shows that he's just been productive all day long.
Levens checks in. He will get the carry, trying to follow his blockers, avoids the first defender, gets close to the line to gain, and that is going to be a 3rd and short, with O'Shaughnessy expecting to check back in.
Looks like he's out there with Ari Mills as well. See what happens. Again, wide open playbook, really nothing to lose. If you want to try and put together another lengthy drive, might want to go to the ground game again.
And they will, but this time a great open field tackle by Casper Haddock forces the 4th down, and Queen City still has a little bit of life.
A little bit of revenge from Haddock, who got spun out of existence a few drives ago, but however, Denver trying to really stake their claim on this game.
4th and 1, offense out on the field, thinking they could get the 1 yard. Levens powers ahead, and he will get the first down yardage.
Trying to put the first crooked number in the win column. They get aggressive, and it rewards them with a first down.
Love the decision there. Keep the clock rolling. You only got 1 yard to go. And they convert it there on 4th and 1. Pitch play goes to O'Shaughnessy, who gets buried in the backfield this time in the first TFL in what seems like forever.
Very rarely do we see this defense go backward, but they are going to have to do it a couple more times, at least try to. A couple more times to try and slow down this offense. Now backed up a little bit. Do we see Struthers try and air it out?
And we will. Shuffles in the pocket, looking, throws across his body, finds his man, and Logan Keel with an impressive spin move there to get some extra yardage near the SFL red zone.
Flowers trying to keep step for step with Keel, but he's just not able to. He's just a bit too quick, and he turns upfield accurately in a brilliant spin move to escape Alex Marshall to pick up an extra yard or two. And this offense, when it seems like you've knocked them back, they come right back. This is a great start for Denver's offense, looking to continue their streak of opening game wins in a season to 3.
Bailey O back to the ground, gain of 5 there, as 4.5 minutes have gone by here in the fourth quarter, and we have seen one offensive possession here for Queen City in the second half. Just absolutely bonkers.
23 carries. O'Shaughnessy just shows how much Denver trusts him.
Levens gets pancaked right near the line to gain. 3rd and short coming up. And that, I think, has been the beneficial piece for this offense of the Nightwings, is switching out running backs seemingly every other play.
Keeping each other fresh. And now on the 3rd and short, O'Shaughnessy's rested.
And he's back out there, and he's getting another first down, this time a 1st and goal as we creep inside of 6 minutes. Denver looking to put the exclamation point on this one.
And again, another long drive, almost taken away on 4th down. However, they keep on marching, keep on pushing, and the clock is on their side, and it is just melting away.
No reason to do anything but keep it in the middle of the field as Levens gets another carry inside the 5-yard line. And sure enough, tick, 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 tick.
Brilliant play call. Brilliant play call. You're expecting a run, and when they show pass and they act like they're going to pass, you're like, all right, well, what the heck are they doing? And that's a brilliant play to get Levens 6 yards.
Freezes the defense, gives an opportunity for O'Shaughnessy to get back into formation. Under 5 to go here in the 4th. Struthers in no hurry to snap the ball. O'Shaughnessy gets the carry, and much to his dismay, after the impressive effort there, he'll lose a couple.
Justin Raside, first time we've called his name in quite some time, gets in the backfield after O'Shaughnessy, makes a couple of tacklers miss, and finally puts him to the ground, and now it's 3rd and goal from the 5. Again, you're up by a couple scores. No need to try and force anything. It looks like they're going to run it here with Levens.
Levens and Mills in the backfield, offset eye now after the shift. Pitch play goes to Levens. Good block by Mills, and Levens tries to cut it back inside towards him, but gets tackled short of the end zone by Alex Marshall. 4th and goal.
That's a great play call. If O'Shaughnessy's out there, maybe they get the touchdown, but that's not always what they're looking for. They milk off clock. We're under 4 minutes to go. This field goal here could very well put the game out of reach.
Just a chippy 19-yarder here for Jordan Bradshaw. And he will boot it through for his 2nd field goal of the game. 24-point advantage with 3:40 to go here in Denver. After convention weekend, Mike Daggs, Gerald Smith, and Matt Wilson kick us off Friday night at the Albuquerque Adams home opener against these Denver Nightwings. And our first Monday night spectacular game of the season has the Baltimore Vultures welcoming in Johnny Pickler, Sir Ron Yates, and the Indianapolis Ramblers. Week 2 kicks off Friday, July 19th, right here on SFL YouTube. Nothing to lose. Coming out of their own end zone is Queen City out to the 32-yard line. 3:34 to go. And with this game looking like it's out of reach here, Tyler, I think it's a good opportunity to run your offense and see if you can get any momentum going into week 2.
At this point, I'm just telling Charles Blanton, just play your game and try and force a pass because that's what you're going to have to do. And it seems like Blanton's been playing that the entire game, and so we'll see if that rewards him this time around on a drive that Queen City will need to maybe save face, maybe try and build some confidence in these players.
Denver showing a blitz once again, 3 wide towards the bottom of the formation for Queen City. Blitz comes. Blanton throws into traffic and incomplete. It has been tough sledding all game long. This Denver secondary has just been incredibly impressive. The defense as a whole, honestly, has been very impressive.
I mean, they're playing right where Blanton's trying to find the route, where that spot is on the field where he would find it in practice, but at the moment, it's just not going his way. And he's going to have to find a second or third read to try and make some progress.
Blanton throws, catch made this time for first down yardage, no huddle. Boudet with the catch as we get a look at Blanton's numbers. They'll add to it here. And it is incomplete. Looking for Bob Wood that time. Second down, 3:15 to go.
He gets hit from behind. You can see him kind of just arch his back. Hopefully he didn't tweak anything or whatnot, because those hits can hurt.
Especially the ones you're not anticipating coming from behind. 5 wide empty. Matthew goes in motion. Blanton into traffic again and incomplete. Looks like he might have had James Matthew Jr. streaking along that far sideline, just couldn't connect.
It might have been underthrown, might have been over. Regardless, it's another pass that falls incomplete. Blanton just still trying to find a rhythm, still trying to find some consistency with his receivers.
And another pass into traffic once again and incomplete. Denver has just had Queen City's number all game long, and you could see it all over the faces of the Queen City offense.
And here you got nothing to lose. 4th and 10, 3:09. Denver's been able to melt the clock on you. This could very well be one of the final drives for Queen City in the ballgame, if it does not convert here.
4th down, crowd still on their feet here in Denver as the Nightwings have a commanding lead. Blanton throws out of reach of Matthew, and that's going to be a turnover on downs. And Denver might have just sealed the deal there with that one.
Denver's secondary was just too much for Travis Blanton today. They caused him fits. They caused him to try and force passes, and they come out on the winning end of it at the moment. 24-point spread, 3:06. Denver, all they have to do is run the ball, and they've got 2 great tailbacks alongside a fullback that can do just that.
And it's just been unbelievable. The secondary in particular, they're just like gnats. They're everywhere. Even role players like LeBlanc that you don't see out there all that much, just pulling their weight here this afternoon and doing a great job rebounding after stubbing their toe there in about the first quarter and a half.
I think now here we can start talking about the future for both these clubs. Both these clubs coming off of 4-8 seasons, lengthy spells under 500 for both teams. Denver is the team that's going to be able to start off on the right foot. They'll now have done that 3 consecutive seasons. But now, after today's victory or potential victory, they now have to go on the road to newcomers Albuquerque, on back here at Richard L. Snowden in week 3 against Bossier City, aka formerly known as Alamo City. And then they go on the road to, well, they get to go to the convention. They get to go to convention just a few weeks late. They get to go to Houston in week 4 on August 3rd, which should also be a fun game between those 2 clubs. Denver right now set up really well. It should really boost and energize this Nightwing faithful.
As we hit 2 minutes to go here in Denver, the Nightwings with a commanding lead, looking to put their final stamp of approval on a Week 1 victory. You're watching SFL YouTube. Eric Vincent, Tyler Falk here in the Mile High City. And after a very weird first quarter and a half of action between these two teams, Denver finally seizing control of this ball game and looking to bring this one to a close as Queen City calls their first timeout with a 4th down upcoming for Denver.
As far as going Queen City goes, it's been a rocky few seasons for the Corsairs, and they're trying to instill confidence back in their fans, trying to get back to where they started as the season 1 and multiple time SFL champions. That one's bobbled. Return nearly went back to Denver. Levens there on the hit to take him down, but Queen City able to maintain control. It might have been over as we were speaking.
Levens just does just about everything, doesn't he? Special teams, totes the rock in spell of Bailey O'Shaughnessy. Just a good overall game here for him as Queen City takes over from about their 19-yard line. 1:48 to go, 2 timeouts. Again, looking to find a little bit of offensive rhythm to take into the future here of this young season 23 as Blanton will throw, connects with Matthew Jr. for a 1st down. 2nd time out called, 1 remaining. And we talked about the future. We've got the Lexington Miners coming up for the home opener for these Queen City Corsairs before traveling to D.C. to take on the semifinal D.C. Dragons from a season ago before an early Week 4 bye week. Roll out for Blanton. Pressure coming from his backside. Diving attempt and incomplete. This defense just will not slow down for Denver as they almost come away with another.
Quintana playing like there's a championship on the line with his Superman dive to knock that pass away. Nearly picked it off as well. Excellent effort here in the dying moments just to really say, that's the final cuff and that's about it. Instead, we play on.
Just over 90 seconds to go. 2nd down. Blanton fires. Matthew with the catch. 1st down. Last timeout called by Queen City with just over 90 to play. They will have no other way to stop the clock other than getting out of bounds.
And I think the one bright spot, or one of the few bright spots here for Queen City is been getting your lone all-star James Matthew Jr. into the end zone for 6. To get your first touchdown of the season. That's something they can hold their head high about.
Absolutely. Looking back towards Wood this time, incomplete. Another deep pass gone awry for this young Queen City quarterback. And you touched on it, Tyler. It's just one of those things where some days you're the bug and some days you're the windshield. And, he just happened to be the bug today, unfortunately.
And we'll see if they can impose themselves when they go back home, and maybe those fans at Compro Field will help them out a bit, because it seems here at Richard L. Snowden, Denver certainly has had the clear advantage, especially from the second half onwards.
One of the more storied venues in this league. We're playing in one here this afternoon as well as we get another completion to Ellis, who's been all over the map here today, returning, rushing, receiving. He does it all. From the 25 into coverage, incomplete, looking Matthew Jr.'s way, 60 seconds to go.
Melanishin, who nearly had a 100-yard return pick 6, nearly takes away for the 2nd time in the ball game, but another deflection on what has been a fantastic, a hallmark performance for these Denver Nightwings.
Second down gives Queen City an opportunity to reset after the incompletion. Blanton throws incomplete. And we've seen a lot of that as well. A lot of hard hits in the secondary, jarring footballs loose from both of these defenses here, Denver and Queen City. So now a third down. Same formation. Matthew in motion. Blanton throws. Catch made by Matthew Jr. Fourth and very, very short. And Queen City just looking like they're taking their time. They know that this game is out of reach at this point, just looking to get a little bit of offensive momentum. This be the ball game here. Blanton throws, and that pretty much encapsulates how the game has gone for Queen City the entire way. Ellis drops an easy one, and Denver takes over.
Well, I don't think this game was going to be anything but difficult. So maybe it wasn't dropping it easy when they could have had, but really came in and gave it their best shot. They took it to Denver to begin the game, and then it just all fell away from them. They'll have to limp back to port at Con-Pro Field and try and regroup for week 2. But it's the Nightwings who fly high and come away with their first victory here today.
Going to be a perfect 5-0 against these Queen City Corsairs. Have not ever suffered a defeat at their hands, and that streak will live on as the Nightwings will go to 1-0. Queen City to 0-1. Once again, Queen City with their home opener in Con-Pro Field against the Lexington Miners. And then on the opposite end, another expansion team, the Albuquerque Adams, will have their home opener against these Denver Nightwings. Final score 34-10 as Denver takes this one. Tyler, what are your final thoughts, my friend?
Final thoughts is Bailey O'Shaughnessy in the run game was a story for the Denver offense, and that potent secondary for Denver really solidified any hopes that they had for coming away with the first victory and really smashed the hopes that Queen City had coming out of the game. You look at the stats here, just a better day in general for the offense for Denver, and about the same in terms of defense in the first half, in terms of turnovers, but ultimately the time of possession, the multiple drives in the second half that went near 4 minutes or near 7 minutes total time of possession. For the longest time, Queen City only had 1 possession in the second half, and Denver had 3. That's working on drive number 3. Queen City take some lessons learned and learn from them going into the next couple of games. For Denver, if you can play like this is a start of a really good season for Denver. A special shout out to everyone at the convention for myself. Unfortunately, I won't be there to join you. Hopefully, all of you are enjoying the convention. I wish I could be there. However, I know you're having a blast. Congratulations to all the Hall of Famers, especially Chris Curtis and Brett Solberg. I wish I was there to congratulate you in person, and everyone who's getting inducted, and Eddie Hamilton, amongst others. You all deserve it. That's enough for me, Eric. I know you, Mr. Hiccups, would love to be in the spot where that nickname was coined, but unfortunately,
don't you know it?
We won't be there. So for myself, have fun at the convention and enjoy yourselves. That's it for me. Over to you, E.
I couldn't have said it any better myself. Y'all have a great time in League City with the convention. Just an absolutely storied venue, birth of Hiccups. And we enjoyed bringing this one to you today. Have fun, enjoy the rest of week 1, and we will see you for week 2.